What if the Earth is only the surface of the universe? In other words, the physical world is the epidermis of what's in there, what we call the universe. See what I just did? Let me put it this way. Our external surface of our physical being is our skin, and the universe is within us. If you can shut off your brain when watching Fast and Furious, then you can suspend your belief towards what's attached to it for now. Because there's people traveling, but they don't need a boarding pass because they're traveling within themselves. All they need is sleep. Truth is, we are all consciousness. And to have a better understanding of astral projection, you have to understand that we are just visitors in this physical world. And our bodies are just a vehicle for our consciousness to use as a limited filter to explore this world. It's a tool consciousness uses to experience itself. Our body is a creativity machine and is a vehicle for a physical experience. Each of us chose our body and have chosen a particular type, and we have chosen the kind of physical experience which we call the human experience. It is a very special and unique vehicle molded to our consciousness or by our consciousness, or however you prefer to see it. It can also be seen as our consciousness manifested in human form. Although we are inseparable from the body for the duration of our physical experience as a human, the awareness that is us is not body, nor is the mind, and we are definitely not ego, which we associate with the body's experiences in physical creation. The purpose of our consciousness here in the physical is to evolve, is to expand by experiencing this dimension. It's important to understand that we are more than this body. We are limitless. We are immortal beings. When our body dies, it is the body that dies. Our consciousness shifts to another dimension after. Now, our consciousness is completely embedded into our bodies. It isn't stuck here within us, this body, this shell. It's just completely focused in our bodies, which is why sleep is needed to project. Although there are people who have projected while being awake, it's just extremely hard to do, but nonetheless possible. But the question many people are asking, why do we astral project? Well, curiosity. I mean, yes, we are in this world to expand, but we also evolve in other dimensions. We have questions. Yes, we are infinite beings, but it doesn't mean we know it all. And even if you believe that you never astral projected, you must understand that you have. When we dream, we are projecting our minds into another dimension. Our being is still in our body, but we project ourselves mentally, which is known as astral traveling. But when we astral project ourselves, we are knowingly projecting our subtle self. I may be wrong, and if anyone knows the specific difference, please comment the difference and your experience, if any. Anyway, to continue, there are different beliefs and concepts accepted regarding astral travel. When it is called astral projection, it is considered an out-of-body experience where a person's soul or consciousness, the astral body, separates from the physical body and travels around the universe or in the astral plane. The best way I can describe the astral plane is that it is somewhat like a dream world. It has also been described as another dimension and has been called the ether. While in the midst of this outer body experience, it is widely believed that a person is tethered to their physical body by a silver cord that connects at their belly button. Some fear that if this cord is cut, they will be lost and unable to return to their bodies. Some also believe that when you leave your body, it is left vulnerable for possession from other entities. What makes sense to me regarding the cord is that it is unbreakable. I don't see how a cord that keeps us tethered to our physical body would be easily broken, but that's just my thinking. It is also said that if you were to astral project under the influence of any drug, you are vulnerable to unfriendly entities. And although I would agree it may be safer to project without drugs, again, my opinion, I doubt we are that easily possessed. And if we are, it's not the type of possession you see on TV, the demonic type, demonic entities and all that you see in the, like the Exorcist movies. I don't think it's like that. I don't even think it's called demonic, but just for the sake of the video, demonic it is. Demonic entities can't cause you any harm in the astral realm. What they are in search for is your negative energy you give off when you're drowned in fear. They're literally like energy vampires. They will project something that will cause you to panic. During a panic, you will give off an electromagnetic signature of negative energy. But they don't take over your body as you will see in the movies, right? They can only manipulate distortions which are already present in you. I don't want to digress any further, but I will be making a video on this topic soon. I only felt the need to say this because there's these stories of astral projections. It is the devil's playground or whatnot. It's just all BS and stories to thrill people away. Now that we got that out the way, astral projection is the act of consciously leaving your physical body to experience as a spirit on the astral plane, what is commonly known as an out-of-body experience. There is a lot of hard work involved in achieving this goal, but there are some amazing benefits of astral projection that can really improve your life. Contrary to what people believe, there are many benefits. I would even dare say that if you're into spiritual growth, it behooves you to learn more about this topic to stimulate your personal development. Finding out that you are much more than your physical body. It can really give you a whole new view of the world and, yourself. A great benefit is after successfully doing this, it will take away the fear of death. The fear of death happens because we don't know what's going to happen right after, right? The unknown of where we go from here. You realize you are more than this body. Experiencing the phenomenal astral projection will demonstrate to you that there is a possibility that we can exist without the physical body. So if you have a fear of dying, it can reduce your anxiety and worries. An out-of-body experience will also give you a hint that probably the process of dying is not painful, but rather a spiritual adventure. People have even healed themselves from pain. Out-of-body events are actually linked to a lot of self-healing. Reports of people showing that the healing is initiated by focusing to a specific area of the body. And astral projection has been as old as the Hindu beliefs of reincarnation and karma. The thought of astral projection have been in existence from the time man was first able to have intellectual inclinations. The thought that you can leave your body behind and travel to alternate plane creates a lot of curiosity. People who don't want to explore this phenomenon must first overcome the obstacle of fear, which will present itself in many forms. The fear of death, pain, injury, the unknown, or the fear of evil may loom up before them and become obstacles. These mental creations were used through the centuries. People were creating different mental dimensions, and the same were explored by experts. People were experiencing this phenomenon to face their biggest fears or to meet people that they love, but they are not near in the reality. These assumptions were made from people that knew about the existence of out-of-body experience, but they wanted ordinary people to stay away from this phenomenon and not be informed about it because they were afraid of the consequences. Astral projection can't be considered for a modern spiritual procedure because the ancient civilizations were familiar with it. This is one of the oldest ways to achieve inner peace through meditations and out-of-body experiences. Written records can show that astral projection has been as old as the Hindu beliefs of reincarnation and karma. According to different written accounts, India is considered as the birthplace of astral projections. But there are some other evidences that point out Egypt and the lost city of Atlantis as the areas where were found the roots of this phenomenon. Maybe the first notion of out-of-body experience would have originated when the man began thinking how to continue living even after death. The curiosity about what comes next motivated the people to explore more widely beyond their limits and to think about the eternal life, experiences in it, and something that exists somewhere but it is hidden from our eyes while we are in our physical body. The idea that the spirit is distinct entity and very different from the physical body is illuminating. This process can be connected with the theory of reincarnation. When the death was closer, the desire to live becomes stronger, and people were trying to explain the separation of the soul from their body. We can encounter stories and myths that describe this in the most ancient literature. We have this incredible ability to travel out of body since we were born, but we are not aware of this power that was given to us with our birth. Astral projection is not a modern spiritual procedure. It was familiar to the ancient civilizations, and it was manifested, described, and interpreted in different ways. The term astral projection was present for a long time, but until today it was unfamiliar for the human world. With development of the science, new levels of knowledge were discovered and answers were found for the questions about the life in the physical body. Death was explained as a transition to another dimension or place of existence, and the astral projection is interpreted as a process of division of the spirit from the physical body. With usage of astral projection, we can explore our inner world and become conscious about ourselves. Our limited awareness gets bigger dimensions because previously we have lost touch of our own mind. We are conscious only about the physical world, and that is the only reality that exists. People are only confident with the idea that real things are those that can be perceived with senses. But the mind has abilities that go beyond the borders of the five senses of the physical world. Our physical body is given to us to carry out our duties, but the astral projection allows us to project out of the body and into the next realm of existence, which is the astral realm. This was researched and argued by philosophers and religious people from time immemorial. Until now, it has remained elusive discovery. There are some attempts to isolate astral projections from various religions' beliefs so that it is seen as a purely spiritual doctrine. For many centuries, the teachings of certain churches have been that some things are mysteries and are not to be questioned. You know how religion goes, right? But perceiving that the physical body as a vehicle of consciousness that we use to learn and grow and explore this physical world, because all of us are explorers, because this isn't our natural habitat. We're only here for a temporary period of time. So each of us is essentially, when we enter a body, we have become explorers entering this dense body. We can perceive the entire physical world to be the epidermis layer of the universe. You see with your own out-of-body experiences that there's countless realities, subtle realities that exist inwardly, and that as we have an out-of-body experience, we're actually moving inward into the universe, and we are experiencing these other realities that exist. The physical world is like the skin of an apple. Because when you leave your body or have an out-of-body experience, you're actually moving inward into the universe, into a finer vibratory level of reality. And all you're really experiencing is your finer vibratory energy body in your mind.